welcome in to Palmetto Sports Daily. Julia, Bronwyn, and Ella with you here on a Monday. And guys, for the past several weeks, we've started off the week every Monday not knowing what the future of South Carolina baseball was. But for the first time in many, many weeks, we do. Kevin Schnall named the head coach of South Carolina last week, and then he was introduced to fans Friday night. Guys, this was the hottest day of the entire year so far, I think, and Rick and I were outside from probably 4 p.m. to, I think, midnight. But, hey, it was worth it, and a lot of people came out to support the new head coach and see him talk to the fan base for the first time. There were free concessions. That was really great. You know, people were super excited about some really warm nacho cheese on a exceedingly warm day. But, hey, look at that. He landed in a helicopter. We did not know this was going to happen, and they told us to kind of file down the third baseline and just wait for something. And then the women's basketball SID, shout out Diana, she crept up behind us and was like, "Eyes on the sky." And I'm like, thank you, because mind you, I did see the helicopter, but I did not know that Kevin Schnall was in said helicopter. But anyways, not the point here. Coach Schnall is taking over a Gamecocks program that has really been down in the dumps for the last couple of years, and now everybody's really excited to see what he can do with it. And of course, he's going to be tasked immediately with rebuilding this roster and, you know, seeing if he can bring some guys back who jumped in the portal before he was named head coach. He's bringing some Chanticleers with him, including Lexington native Walker Mitchell, who is coming back here. He has family ties to South Carolina. His dad came here and played for a couple of the teams here, so lots of cool ties there. But he's got his work cut out for him as he kind of tries to balance the transfer portal and see who he can get signed here and see what kind of team they can build for 2027. And he talked about that on Friday night.
We've been in great contact with the players, and, you know, ultimately we want to make sure that people want to be here. It's very important that they want to be at the University of South Carolina. They want to be part of the change. They want to be part of this program moving forward. The connectivity in this state is unparalleled, and we're going to build from inside out. But ultimately, we're never going to settle for the next best player. So if that means we have to expand out, we will do that. The roster last year had 15 different states on it. The same thing at Coastal. We had to expand our wings and go coast to coast to go after the best student athletes in the entire country. But our number one priority would be dominating the state of South Carolina and making sure the best players in this state are Gamecocks.
Lots of honesty there on Friday. That's something that Coach Schnall really prides himself on, is being as honest as he can be about his program. So, guys, kind of just want to open it up here. I mean, we assumed this would be the hire for quite some time, and then we've had some time to kind of weigh it. But now that we've heard from Schnall for the first time as the head coach, just what do we think of how he's going to be taking over this program? Ella?
Well, I'll start by saying I have never been so sad to not witness a moment like that. I was looking at your Twitter, Julia, and when I saw he came in a helicopter, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good year of baseball to watch. That is how you make an entrance. And I also think that's kind of how you make a statement a little bit. I'm excited to see what he does. What we've seen in the past week from the guys that he's bringing in, what he's doing in the transfer portal, it's very encouraging. It's not even been a week. Oh my gosh, it's been like a couple days at this point. And he's already making major moves. Like you said, he's got his work cut out for him. Bronwyn, when you look at the moves that he's been making and what he's been doing, and given the state of the South Carolina baseball team that he is taking over, what do you hope to see him continue to do that would kind of take them to that next level that they're so desperately trying to achieve?
I think anytime you're hiring a head coach, and I will preach this from the mountaintops, I always have, you have to establish culture, especially when you're coming into a program that's kind of been down in the dumps, as Julia put, for the past couple of years. I think he's the guy for that. He loves this job. You can just tell he was even talking about back in, I think it was 2010. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, 2010 or 2012, when South Carolina went to play Coastal and broke Coastal's hearts, and South Carolina goes on to win 2 national championships. And he said, I remember walking out of Myrtle Beach Pelican Stadium and thinking, what would it be like to be in garnet and black and feel what they're feeling right now? And he said, now I get to feel that. So I think when you're taking over a program that has that storied history, but kind of has fallen almost out of the good graces of baseball, right? I think it's important that you do love the job, you love the guys, you love the state you're in, and you really believe in it, Julia.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a program that people still really hold to a high standard, despite the fact that they have not won a national championship in 15 years. Doing some math there, and they haven't been to one in, I believe, 14. So it's been quite some time. And, you know, with any sports teams, people these days expect, you know, success in a microwave. They want it to be ready as soon as possible. So it's going to be interesting to see how people react in the next couple of years, especially with how quickly Coastal, you know, rose to success under Schnall. But that was a completely different situation, because you look at what Gary Gilmore gifted him when he retired from the program. Schnall didn't have to rebuild all that much. So now you look at the other side of the coin and seeing what he's going to have to do with this team. I would not say they're going to be Omaha bound this time next year, but I do think that he can do some really great things, and it'll be interesting to see what he does over the next several weeks with building that roster. But also something to pay attention to in the next couple of months is once they start building that schedule for next year, Schnall and new Coastal head coach Chris Lemonis, they've already said they want to bring that series back, or at least a couple of games. They want to play each other. They talked about it, each of them, in their opening press conferences, and this is something they really, really want to bring back.
I want Coastal Carolina to be great. I talked to Chris Lemonis this morning. I'm there for him. I'll always be there for him. We're ready to play. That was the first thing that we had to negotiate. We have to play Coastal Carolina, and Jeremiah agreed. So we will start playing Coastal Carolina.
One of my best friends in the business is Kevin Schnall. We're very close. In Omaha last year, I take numerous phone calls as we talk about things. I don't know anybody who bleeds teal more than this guy. I've heard this quote a lot over time. Anyone, anywhere, anytime. So maybe the Gamecocks will come down here and play us in Conway.
Absolutely love that, bringing Schnall's own words back kind of against him at that point. Say, hey, you've said this in the past, and despite you moving programs, do you still mean it? And guys, I really do think we will see this get on the schedule. I do think, I actually don't think that Schnall is afraid of playing Coastal, you know, after moving over to South Carolina, and especially given, you know, their relationship between the two head coaches. I think that'll be really fun. I would expect to see, if not a series early on in the season, at least, you know, home and homes between these teams for the next several years.
Yeah, for sure. I think we were literally just talking about building that culture, and this is exactly what you want to see out of your head coach when he comes into a new program. Hey, give me my old program and let's go mess them up together. That's what you want out of a coach, to have that kind of rivalry motivation building already. I think it's awesome. Bronwyn, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's so fun. I think anytime you can have a coach playing your former team, it also shows the pride that you have in your current program and your past program to just say, hey, go ahead and let's just play each other. And I think it's really interesting, and something that popped in my head was, I don't know, obviously I don't know contracts, I don't know the legality or any of that, but I wonder if they traded any talks during this time where Kevin Schnall is in the works to become the new head coach of South Carolina, Chris Lemonis is in the works to take over as his successor at Coastal. I think that's interesting. We'll probably, if there were, we're not going to hear that for like 50 years. But still, I think it's really interesting. I love that they're going to play each other. We love a rivalry. Anytime, anywhere, right?
Anytime, anywhere. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with more Palmetto Sports Daily.
Welcome back into Palmetto Sports Daily. We're celebrating quite a lot this year in the Carolinas, and the Hurricanes just added on to that stat last night, taking home the Stanley Cup. They won the series 4-2, and they swept Vegas last night. I was kind of just saying in the break, it wasn't even that entertaining of a game to watch. The celebration was more entertaining as compared to the rest of the games in this series. We saw Rod the Bod in the locker room lifting up that trophy. It was an epic celebration. So happy for them. So fun to watch. We are happy, but someone who's on Palmetto Sports Daily frequently wasn't so happy about it. We are going to take a first look at Kevin Bilodeau's temper tantrum that he had about the Hurricanes winning.
In my car, spent my entire morning driving kids to and from summer camps, and my last day of my 4-day weekend's been completely ruined by this disgusting hockey team. I got to listen to everyone celebrate about this stupid championship for the Hurricanes, and just so completely disgusted by all of it. And basically, if you're a fan of this team, you're an accomplice to just the trickery and deception, that everything that they tried to do to bring down a great American city in Hartford, and you should be ashamed that you root for this team. And if you're one of the people that had anything to do with taking this team from Hartford and bringing it down to Raleigh, I hope you drink from the cup and you get food poisoning. I do. Like, not serious food poisoning, but just enough that, you're uncomfortable during the parade. Do they even have parades in Raleigh? Is it big enough, or they just put a bunch of pickup trucks together and tack on some hay bales on the back and just drive from Uncle Jim Bob's feed and tackle store and go around the Rotary a couple times and go back 2 blocks over to Uncle Jim Bob's store.
Wow.
And I hate this city. I hate this team. They can all kick rocks.
Has Kevin been to Raleigh? Does he?
I feel like we need.
Does he not think there's like buildings there, like Uncle
Let's
Jim
dissect.
Bob's store?
Uncle Jim Bob. Couple of pickups with hay bales on the back. You know what that is? I'm just gonna start a war. You know what that is? That is northern brutality. Okay. Look at that.
I was going to say it's fully just like Connecticut propaganda, because for the viewers, we do need to set the scene here. Kevin is really angry because, for those who do not know, the Carolina Hurricanes used to be the Hartford Whalers, may they rest in peace, back in the day. Mm-hmm. They were abruptly moved down to Carolina in, I believe, 1997. And Kevin is still not over it, despite this happening before all 3 of us were born. So...
And he couldn't have been of the age to remember that either. That's the other thing.
He was.
Okay.
But he
was
I'm
in
not
college.
gonna get caught calling Kevin old on live TV. Well, this is recorded, but I'm not gonna do that.
Oh no.
See, now I've started a
but
far
all
greater
3 of us
problem.
were very much not alive.
That.
I'm pretty sure. I know I wasn't. So,
I was not
with
an
respect.
epic crash out, and also
Yeah.
a little bit of a threat there. He hopes to get food poisoning. That sent me off a ledge.
As a food poisoning
I do
survivor, that
appreciate-
is a threat. Like,
It is.
I would wish
Yes.
food poisoning on like my worst enemies. Like, that's some terrible stuff.
I completely agree. Both me and our Palmetto sports anchor here at Fox Carolina, Caroline Soro, were plagued with food poisoning this year. It was the most treacherous days of our lives, and that insult was personally offensive to me. And I'd like to say, my entire family is from Hartford, and I feel absolutely no sort of emotion about this. I want to talk to my father about it, though, because he was born and raised there his whole life, and he was celebrating
Can we get a
the
Grogan
Hurricanes
call in
win
right now?
last night. I feel like we need to call in Brian
phone
Grogan
a
on this
friend.
situation, because I feel like you should be happy for the team in a way, right? I mean, a win is a win. I don't know.
A win is a
I
win.
rest my case.
How many cups
win
did
is
they
a
win
win.
as the Whalers?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
None.
Oh.
Anyways, I'm not gonna do that to him. All right, Kevin. We'll see you on a future episode. We'll see you guys though on the other side of a break. Welcome back to Palmetto Sports Daily. Time to talk a little football. Not that one. World Cup football, soccer, if you will. And the United States getting off to a raring start in their opening game against Paraguay. They beat them 4-1 and honestly look really impressive doing it. And a lot of people out there, a lot of people more knowledgeable than me about United States men's national team soccer, people are saying this is one of their best, international stage performances in a long time, if not ever. And, just taking a look at what this team has, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do moving forward, Ella.
Yeah, and you are correct, and your sources are correct. That was the most amount of goals that the United States has ever scored in a World Cup, which was incredible. People are saying, bring on France next. I love this United States pride that we're seeing out here. And another guy who broke history for the United States is actually from right here in the upstate. Clint Dempsey, a Furman graduate, was the first U.S. men's national team soccer player to score in 3 different World Cups. And I got the chance to talk to him before he headed on over to cover the World Cup last week at the BMW Charity Pro-Am. Time to talk to him about his return to the upstate, Doug Allison, the Furman head coach here, and then most importantly, what everyone wants to hear are his thoughts on this year's World Cup team for the United States of America.
Standing by with Clint Dempsey, Furman soccer legend and U.S. men's national team legend as well. But you're out here today playing golf. What makes you want to come back here to the upstate and get out here and do this for charity?
I mean, anytime I can get back to Greenville, I'm always looking for that opportunity, especially since I've retired. I live in Charlotte now, so it's not too far of a hike to come down there. So whether it's coming back, watch a Furman soccer team play, whether it's coming back for soccer camps, whether it's coming back for an opportunity like this to play golf and to help shine a spotlight on the city of Greenville, which has been a second home to me, I'm always jump at that opportunity.
A huge part of that home for you was Doug Allison. He just finished his incredible career. Just what has he meant to you over these past few years during your career and after?
Yeah, I mean, he did what he said he was going to do. He looked after me, told my parents that, and we had some great times here. We got to the Sweet 16 against Stanford, and some of the best memories that I had in college, what allowed me to get that platform to go professional because of him. He put in a good word for me during the MLS draft with Stevie Nickel and Paul Mariner, which allowed me to go to New England Revolution at the 8th pick. And happy to see him go out on a great note. He deserves that. Coach of the Year, getting them to Final Four, which we've never been able to do. So shout out to Tucker taking over, and I'm sure that the program's in good hands. But for what Doug has done for Furman will always be remembered.
Speaking of that success that you had, I want to ask you about the World Cup. You were the first U.S. men's national team soccer player to score 3 goals in 3 World Cups. Just as you look at these guys this year, what would your message be to them as they approach this big stage on their home turf?
Yeah, control the things that you can control. Obviously, it's a lot of pressure, but that is a privilege. You have a chance to do something great. So with risk comes reward, but also could be failure. But I like to think that they're going to take advantage of this opportunity and do something special, and really an opportunity to grow the game in the States and inspire the youth. So my message is go out there and fight together, give everything that you have, and I think they have the quality to get it done. Hopefully they can just tighten things up a little bit in the back with their ability to score goals. I mean, they're always going to be in games.
Clint, I want to ask you real quick for my last question. As a soccer player and as an analyst as well for the game, how do you think their probability is looking for this year?
I think this is the easiest World Cup to get out of the group. They've added more teams, which I think diluted the quality, if I'm being honest with you. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or whatever they say. Now you have 8 of the third-place teams that can get out of the group. So I feel like the tournament really doesn't start to the round of 32, but with this format, you pretty much only need 1 win and good goal differential to get out of the group. And if you can't do that, you don't deserve to get out of the group. But I think they'll get it done.
That's going to be fun to watch. Clint, thank you so much for the time.
Well, after that performance that we saw from the United States of America, it was almost as if they took Clint's exact advice. They got great goal differential. They're right now leading their group stage. So things are looking pretty good for them. Next, they're playing Australia. Bronwyn, what do you think about this next one?
Well, I thought this was really interesting. The margin of victory equaled the biggest in program history from back in 1930. I would just like to say, I'll just go out on a limb. I also read that the #1 FIFA ranked team has never won the World Cup, so do with that what you will. I think what a great year would it be, our 250th year of America, for us to win the World Cup. Bring us all together, unite us. Come on, summer of 250, that sounds like a great year to win the World Cup.
Why not us? Why not US?
I love y'all's ambition. That's great.
I'm actually really excited about it. Not a huge soccer fan of the past, but I feel like every time the World Cup comes around, I just get this energy in me, and I want to consume it all. So I think that's the point at the end of the day. All right, we got one more block coming up on the other side of the break.
Welcome back to Palmetto Sports Daily. As a wise man once said, my mayor Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, the Pope is on our side. Knicks in 5. The Knicks claiming their first NBA championship in 53 years. I think that guy gets a statue. I feel he should. I mean, I'm not even close to, I've never even been to New York City, and I might be a bandwagoner.
You should go.
But you have to give me it because I have the worst sports team basically in history in Arkansas. 53 years, long time, Julia.
You know what? That's the year that Kevin Bilodeau qualified to pull from his 401k. So I know he was around for it, but.
Oh no!
I'm gonna get hurt so bad when he sees this. He's gonna. Oh, I just need to build my shield now because he's gonna like come for my family, and I had to do it though. I fell on the sword for all of us, and for this program.
That's right.
Well, it was an absolutely electric game, and what an absolutely electric ending to this episode of Palmetto Sports Daily. Thank you so much for joining us, and Kevin Bilodeau, we sincerely apologize for everything that we said.
I'm so sorry, Kevin. I appreciate you.
Guys.